Welcome back to another episode of the OffRangers podcast. You're here with your host with the most, DJC Universe. I'm back again with an assortment of characters, the wonderful crew, the OffRangers, Doombot TV, Soup for Thought, and Beyond Meaning, sending special prayers to two of our more senior members in the group, McAllister Account and DK underscore Typical TV, both of whom are off right now in Charlie's Chocolate Factory having a wonderful time. We wish them luck. They only have to give one back massage, but hey, that's the price of a golden ticket. So to start off our podcast today, we're going to talk about fantasy anime versus sci-fi anime. We're going to have a debate about the genre as a whole regarding which genre you prefer, and then on the genre that you pick. So, for example, if you pick a sci-fi genre, if you pick the sci-fi genre as your favorite genre, what is your favorite show and your favorite character from that chosen genre? Okay, does everybody get what I'm saying here?
I got you. Yes.
Yes, senpai.
Okay, the whole crew. I butchered that. I swear to God, I'm smart. But to start off, I'm going to start off here with let's go Doombot TV. You seem like a pretty smart guy, so what you have to say?
Well, senpai. I think I'm gonna choose fantasy up first. I can honestly say I just feel like when I watch science fiction anime, I'm usually not drawn to it too much. I'm not really into mecha anime. Even Jedi is a classic, however, it's not my favorite classic. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose the fantasy genre as one of my favorites. That's actually my preferred genre. And then out of that selected genre, I want to pick Akame ga Kill as my favorite fantasy anime.
Mm.
I think it's a classic. Started watching it on Toonami and sipped over when Toonami was too slow for me. Kind of just binged the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Kami got killed. I mean, it's a very sad show. Everybody dies in the end, and I just wish it didn't happen. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, even though it's really old. But my favorite character is actually not from Akame got killed. I'm actually going to go with Murray Tempest from that time he got reincarnated as a slime. He is our slime daddy, our slime lord, our slime senpai, and a lot of other slimy things. Very sticky. But that's definitely my favorite fantasy character. Eat it.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I'm a little uncomfortable at the end of that, but I respect all of your choices. You're a wonderful friend and a confidant.
He's lying on his breath. I hear it.
I know. I hate that mother. I mean, no, I'm
He's
playing.
judging
So,
me.
to you, Beyond Meaning. What about you? Your favorite genre? I'm gonna hear your favorite show and then character.
I prefer fantasy over sci-fi. Just same reason as Doombot. I don't really watch a lot of sci-fi. It's just not my forte. Like I watch a couple sci-fi things if it catches my interest, but other than that, I'm sticking with the fantasy. And most of the time, most of the majority of the big anime are fantasy. Currently, right now, you got Black Clover, My Hero, uh, and then to relate back to which one's my favorite, it'll actually be Bleach. Just because it was one of those anime series I grew up on watching after I took the dive in, first watching Inuyasha, and then it just spiraled from there. And then my favorite character would have to be Kenpachi. Kenpachi from Bleach. I just think his character is cool. Just the way he's like intensely in love with battling like the strong characters, and he doesn't really care about the weak ones. And then even after he defeats somebody and they're too weak, he just kind of like loses all resolve to fight them anyway. So he just lets them live to fight them again, so he can have more stronger opponents. And I think his he's just one of those characters that has a great storyline if you read the manga, and he's just simple. And then I actually think he has a cool ass bunkai. Hopefully we can see that put onto the screen because it's actually pretty cool.
Oh,
Do
I have a
you?
question.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Can he beat Goku though?
Oh my God! Stop.
yes, bro. I mean, he already defeated his the first Kenpachi, which
He's
inspired him
joking.
to
He,
He's
does, he
love.
doesn't.
joking.
He doesn't
He's
sound
joking. He's
multiversal. But
joking.
go ahead,
He's
DJC.
joking. He's joking. I have a
I'm not
question.
joking. He can
for
beat
you.
Goku.
Stop.
Goku's
Please.
lame, bro.
Please, no. They don't know we're kidding.
Attack
They don't
those
know we're
comments.
kidding. They don't know we're kidding. So to everybody here in the pod right now, I want to know: did you have trouble when you were like researching this? Because for me, things that I considered science, sci-fi anime, and then things I considered fantasy anime were like flipped. Did anyone here have issues? Because I know for me, I was kind of leaning sci-fi in the beginning, but then I wanted to make sure I did my proper research, and then I realized that a lot of anime that I would have considered your sci-fi weren't sci-fi. Like for example, Code Geass is not a sci-fi anime, which is my
No,
favorite
it's
anime
not.
of all time. So that kind of fucked me right there. Um, my next favorite anime was Psycho-Pass, which I like more, but then I realized, I watch a lot of isekai anime, and a lot of isekai anime always fall into that fantasy realm for me. So, did y'all have any issues?
I didn't really have any issues. I just knew a lot of the fantasy and sci-fi anime. They're kind of
Mm-hmm.
like it's kind of entangled in some
Mm-hmm.
aspects, so it's kind of just difficult to decipher what is it majority of versus just those key elements that you see that you were like, oh yeah, that's just sci-fi, but
Mm-hmm.
in actuality, it's more fantasy than what you actually thought it would be.
Yeah, I ran into the same exact issue as I was trying to look up stuff. It kind of felt like I was blurring lines. Like same process you're going to DJC. I was researching things in my mind. I was like, okay, this is a fantasy anime, and I actually looked into it, and I was thinking like, oh wait, this actually could debatably be sci-fi. So think I kind of ran
Mm-hmm.
into that a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of made me realize that a lot of these things kind of blend into each other, sort of to a certain extent, especially
Mm-hmm.
with some of the liberty sci-fi anime takes. Sometimes they kind of blend into each other.
Yeah. And also the subcategories, that other thing, like the subgenres of like
Yep.
larger genres, because going back to Code Geass, it was something else. It was fiction, but it was like military fiction was what it was under, and I was like, what? I didn't know that was the thing. I was very confused by that. It was exceptionally difficult. I'm gonna let you go super thought, but since I kind of hijacked it a bit, I'll get myself out the way. And I did some foreshadowing earlier, kids, because I'm great. But fantasy anime is what I would pick. For my favorite show for that, I would say Konosuba. Absolutely hilarious. I think there's very few anime where like I actually physically laugh out loud. In Konosuba, I actually laugh out loud several times. It's also got a special distinction of being good sub and dub. I don't really watch dubs all that often. That's not really my thing. But every now and again, like I'll catch a clip of a dub clip on YouTube or something like that, and I'll watch it. And you know what? It can still make me laugh, which is something I appreciate. My favorite character from the fantasy genre would definitely be just going back to it. My shock here was Ainz Ghul from Overlord, because that fell within fantasy. I thought that would have been, I guess, because he's clearly in a game world that, well, I guess not. I guess we don't know. He got zipped into a real world, but I thought that might lean science fiction because of the circumstances of the game, but it turned out not to be. In the words of a member that's not here right now, may he rest in peace, DK underscore typical. He is in fact a savage. I also like his character development from like just a guy in a game trying to figure out what he's going to do, what he's going to be, and then his slow descent into being just this demonic ass figure that like doesn't give a fuck about anything and pretty much he's going to take over the world. He's the strongest being on that planet to our knowledge as viewers, and I don't know, I don't read the manga, so manga people, please don't spoil anything. But to me, I think he's clearly my favorite. When I thought about the genre and I realized that it was a fantasy, he trumped all. I would give a shout out to Remember Tempest. He's a very good character. There's some wonderful characters, and I would low key call the shonen genre, a lot of the shonen genre, My Hero, and specifically One Piece. Monkey D. Luffy, Zoro, and Ace were very close competitors there, but inevitably, Ainz is he's just a different breed, man. So moving on from me and my confusion and delay, a man that always has conviction, soup for thought. What about you? Who did you choose?
And I was really hoping that one of us could not pick fantasy, but once again, I gotta go with fantasy, man. I think it may doing the research made me realize how much fantasy anime I watch. Like what Doombot was saying, I'm not a real big mecha anime fan. I don't know what it is about it. I think I watched Gundam when I was a kid, and that was literally it. Watched Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
I think I watched a couple episodes of Darling in the Franxx, which, in case you haven't seen, it's a mix of Gundam and Doggy Style. It doesn't make any sense unless you see the show. Once you see the show, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not really into like sci-fi anime. So I feel like with sci-fi, you sort of not put yourself in a box, but you kind of have to bend to the like some rules of science, as long as you're like sticking to it. With fantasy, I feel like you have a lot more like leeway. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather go with that. And for one of my favorite fantasy worlds, favorite fantasy shows, there's a lot of them. Like I said, I would say 90% of the anime I watch, most people consider fantasy. So I wanted to talk about one that I don't get to mention often, which is Made in Abyss. I think it's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
They take a lot of the fancy aspects to 1,000. The world is super crazy. The monsters are super crazy. The characters are really interesting, and it's essentially, in case you haven't seen it, it's a show about spelunking. Except the deeper down the cave you go, the worse it gets. Sounds real stupid. I purposely explain stuff bad, but I think it's really dark, and it gets dark at times. You just do not expect it. That really caught me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely my favorite fantasy show. One of my favorite fantasy shows. I can't put a favorite on it. One of my favorite characters, however, is back to you, DJC. Is actually I think it's Kuzma from Konosuba. Same thing. Cosmo. There we go. Thank you for correcting me.
No problem.
Same thing with you, DJC. I've chuckled at a lot of shows. I've laughed out loud on 2 of them: Prison School and Konosuba. That show has made me consistently laugh out loud. Speaking, have you seen the movie?
For Prison School or for Konosuba?
No, for Konosuba.
I haven't yet. You know, it's hard for me to get to the movies.
It's when you get a chance, DJC, please. It's super funny. The first scene had me crying, man. Like I was watching American Dad or something. It had me crying. Konosuba Cosmo's a great character. I like how he's not going to full just, all right, I woke up in this video game world, this RPG world. Now let me go fight the Demon Lord. The whole first 2 seasons, I feel like he got enough money to chill and is just trying to chill for the last 28 episodes, which I can really respect because, man, let's be real here. I'm not doing that shit, man. I am getting enough money. I'm opening up a shop and living right on the outskirts of a level 1 world. I'm not messing with Demon Lord. I'm being completely honest with you. I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather live.
You know, I respect that so much, and also I hope y'all respect me. I'm gonna renege because while I was here, I was just getting bugged, and I did a little more research. I went to my anime list, and this is something that's definitely an issue here. Is one, there needs to be more consensus on what's a sci-fi anime and what's not.
Definitely needs to be.
Because several sites, the things I looked up said no. I went to my anime list and I looked at the sci-fi, the anime there, and we got One Punch Man, Steins Gate, Cowboy Bebop, Code Geass. I don't know how that fit in. Psycho Pass, Promise to Neverland, Gurren Lagann, Darling of the Franxx, Dead Man Wonderland, Made in Abyss. They call the sci-fi anime. So really, and for me, I'm gonna go back on sci-fi. And I thought about it when you were talking about mecha anime. That's one of the first genre that got me, and I love mecha anime. Gundam 00, Gundam 0000, and Gundam Good, Iron Blood Orphans are, in my opinion, 2 of the best paced and well developed animes I've seen in a long ass time. I just think this is such a difficult topic because there's so much overlap. Other than in space, when you can even argue that a lot of stuff in space just because you go to space doesn't necessarily make it a sci-fi anime. Which is something I would disagree with you guys on. I know you guys say it does, but I don't think so. I don't think just because you're in space or just because you deal with scientific things. Because I know Doombot, you're watching Scientific Railgun. Would you say that's fantasy or science fiction?
Apparently, it's a perfect fusion of both. Because from what I understand of the world, apparently there's a magical side and a fantasy side. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to say that's a science fiction fantasy.
I don't know. I feel
from what I've seen, it looks more science fiction from the railgun part of it. A lot of their powers are based on their, I guess, mental capacity. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's tied to their psychological kind of things, how they handle that. I think they're TK users technically, which I also consider TK science fiction, telekinesis, which your brain can do. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a science fiction extension. Anything I really consider science fiction is robots, if they're cruising around in spaceships, I consider that science fiction. Mm-hmm. If they're on a futuristic planet, science fiction. If they're genetically engineered to super soldiers and whatnot, I consider that science fiction because they're messing with genes and stuff like that. I guess fantasy, I would just put if the main focus or the main characters of the show is magic, if they're in some kind of fantasy world where they're fighting dragons and ogres and goblins or whatever, I consider that fantasy. I mean, I think it's possible to even be a science fiction fantasy, but I think that if it's a science fiction fantasy, that means that it's got mostly scientific attributes, but it's also some fantasy elements.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it can also be kind of reversed. So I guess it determines whatever comes first, whatever has more in it. Is it more science fiction or is it more fantasy? It's how I
Fair
kind
enough.
of divide the two.
Let's say hypothetically, there's an anime where, like you were saying, there's magic and then there's the technology side of it. Let's say someone has a gun that can harness my magical potential and shoot it. What would you consider that?
It depends on how the show classifies the gun. If it's like, oh, this is some ancient relic gun that the ancient Babylonian society came up with, and they could channel magic into magic blast, then I'm like, okay, I guess that's fantasy. Or if it's like, this is just some railgun Mark 74 that can channel your magic into a magical blast, I guess you can make that science fiction. It really depends how the show breaks it down. It's so hard, like everybody has kind of said here, to kind of separate the two, because anime, unlike comics and unlike movies, they really sometimes they just jumble stuff all together and just throw it at you.
Hard line.
It's very blended.
It is like he'd be like, yeah, this is a magical girl show. We're all witches, but we live in space and we live like so it's like they jumble everything together, and it works in some cases, but it's really hard to separate.
Yeah, it's like they did a line of coke and just pitched you an anime idea in the elevator,
and it works.
My heart.
And it works.
My anime list has me so confused right now because you were talking about Railgun, and I was like, okay, that would make sense for Railgun to be science fiction. But Magical Index, which is the magic side of that universe, is also in science fiction, and I'm like, what? So
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust the like online. I would just go by what you say.
yeah. I was on.
Because I haven't seen Magical Index. You've seen that, so I'm sure there's like a lot of magic in it.
It's literally all magic based. Everything, all powers.
There is no magic mention in Railgun.
It's just confusing.
There's like no magic mention in Railgun. It's all like TK psychic users, how they control different elements and whatnot.
Also, shout out Space Brothers. That is one of the most underrated anime. It's boring. It's not a fun anime. I shouldn't say that. It's very much a boring show. But to the few people out there that like that, please know I love that show to the bottom of my heart, and I've been waiting for a final season.
You just recommend a boring anime?
It's not boring. It's more or less. It's definitely kind of. The show is about an older brother who wants to be like his youngest brother. His youngest brother is an astronaut, and the oldest brother, he goes on a journey to become an astronaut too. And it's actually, it's very science-based. It's extremely scientific and real and very realistic, but it's a really heartwarming, touching show. Y'all sound like y'all just don't fuck with that, but it's fine.
I almost gave you a wedgie.
I'm just imagining some really dumb shit happening, but I mean, it might be good. It's more about the demon lords and whatnot.
Yeah, no, you want to talk to the demon lords. Everyone always wants to talk about demon lords. Very lazy cop out, but fine, fuck it, I'll do it. So moving on to question number 2: demons and demon lords are massively popular types of characters in anime. So, who's your favorite demon lord / demon character? Since you want to talk so much shit today, come on, Doombot, who's yours? I bet it's great. Just say it. Just say it.
Well, I was going to cheat and I was going to say Romero Tempest again because that he is my favorite demon lord. But I decided to not be basic. I drink Dunkin' Donuts instead of Starbucks, and I decided that I'm going to go with Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yes, very poor. Very poor.
You're right. I like you.
Don't worry about it. Don't think too much.
I'm not going to be basic. I'm just going to pick the most popular anime in the world right now. That's who I want.
First off, that's probably Demon Slayer right now. And
I'll give you
Jujutsu Kaisen was peak. It's probably Demon Slayer now. But I'm going to go with Sukuna. I think Sukuna was a different take on like an inner demon. A lot of times in these shows, you see inner demons and they're like, hey, yeah, I'm going to destroy the world, bitch. You can't do nothing about it. And then the characters are like, hey, man, you want to chill out? I'm like, yeah, man, I am going to chill out. I want to be friends. And that's how the show goes down. Next thing you know, he's harnessing a demon's power. Yeah, and I kind of like how Jujutsu Kaisen was like, Sukuna's like, yeah, I'm going to destroy the world. He's like, hey, man, you want to chill out? He's like, no, fuck you. And I'm taking over the world. And I'm taking your body. So I enjoy how like they have this weird dynamic where Sukuna's like, yeah, I'm trapped in here. I need him, but I don't necessarily care about him. Any ledge he takes to kind of get himself back in the world, he's going to use it. I think there was a part where he almost killed his host and almost got away with it, but I think the kind of protagonist power kind of shown through there. But I think Sukuna is just the ultimate evil who's like, yeah, I'm a badass, but I'm not going to give down to a spiky protagonist just because.
Very sassy too.
So I like very sassy, and it was the one episode where like the villain's making fun of the main character, and then Sukuna joins in and starts laughing at him too, and I'm like, this is really sad.
Roasting the fuck out of him.
I'm like, you can't win, but I really like the twist with Sukuna. I kind of hate it when like Naruto kind of tamed Kurama with a fist bump. It was just
I already fist bump, man.
He reminds me just of the Sage of Six Paths.
Power of
God
friendship,
damn it.
baby.
You know how pissed I'd be if I was stuck inside a fucking preteen, like had to watch him go through puberty and witness all his damn emotions. I would be fucking furious.
Mm-hmm.
And yet the demons are always tamed. I agree with you on that one. You touched on something interesting that I want to talk about, because if we're being real here, one of the most overused things is being part demon or having a demon inside you. So before I move on to the next person, what do y'all think separates like the great demon lords from just another demon? And I'll go to you on this one, Sue. And then actually,
I'll go ahead and pick somebody better, DJT. It's all right.
No. I just wanted to say, and I won't pick anybody after you. We'll just have a conversation about it. That's all I'm saying.
Very edgy.
Unless you want to keep being sassy. I'm joking. Go ahead.
But man, it's really hard to say, because my immediate like split second reaction was, oh, you can't be generic if you're gonna be a demon lord, demon character. Then I really thought about it. Which one of these motherfuckers is it? Like, they all the same. No, think about it. They all
Sukuna's different,
except for Sukuna, who's sassy. But if that's what sets you apart, they're all kind of the same. I just think it's just a tried and true method. So it's like one of those situations where it's not broke, don't fix it. But they're all kind of generic. I don't know what really like separates a good one from a bad one.
I got some different examples. I got some examples, but
Damn.
I'm gonna let Beyond go first. I think Beyond's on to something.
Yeah, light bulb going off.
I
forgot what the anime is called.
God damn
it.
Come on, man, you can do it.
Demon Parade or something.
Oh,
like that.
Nora Rise, Rise of the Yokai.
Yeah,
I love that.
I was just thinking about that after you said not generic, and I was just thinking like his character is not a generic demon lord. You know, he's more of a good demon lord than an evil demon lord.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, damn, I should have picked him, but
is he like Kurama?
No, he's totally the opposite of Kurama.
Like, he's not a how do I explain it? It's not like there's a demon living inside him. He is the demon himself.
Yeah, he is the demon.
Yeah, he's just
only.
Go ahead.
In my opinion, there's only two kind of demon lords you're gonna see. It's either the final boss, main antagonist, asshole, stereotypical demon lord, or the other stereotypical demon lord, the devil's a part-timer kind, which he's actually a good guy. He just has bad reputation. It's only those two kinds of people.
Whoa. That was gonna be my example, because I was gonna use that as a not stereotypical. I feel like there was a part-timer different, because like he started off as like, yeah, I'm a demon lord, final boss, stereotypical as they come. And I just feel like they really did a different twist with like saying the dude basically works at McDonald's. I don't know. I think the show works. It's one of those shows I actually laughed out loud at. I thought it's a hilarious show.
That's funny.
I feel like sometimes he can be basic whenever he transforms into his demon mode to kind of just flex on people a little bit. But I think for the most part, it's just one of those shows more so about just a demon trying to fit into like day-to-day life. I don't know. I just find it a little bit different than just kind of those two stereotypes you kind of mentioned. I mean, he's a final boss episode 1 for about 5 minutes. Then he kind of just flips over to something else totally different.
Then he's the main character.
He's the main character. He's just trying to fill his role of being the demon lord and
I'd work in
life as a human too.
Well, I think there's very few anime like Devil Part-Time where the demon lord is it, but it's a complete and utter comedy.
I mean,
where there's
Beelzebub. You got the one show that was really fucking terrible. The show about the we start you're like an end level character, but you go back to the first level. It's really stupid. I think it came out last season. The demon lord in that show is a joke. I'm like, there's a lot of them. I'm like those two stereotypes. You look at one the other way. You're a super jokey or you're a final boss. There's no in between.
Well, okay. How about this? Can I describe a character to you and then like see where you think he falls?
No, you cannot. I'll go ahead.
And that's our episode.
Don't need your consent. But all right. All right. So Moro Tempest, slime, OP, very OP slime, wanted to kind of unite monsters in his world and kind of form like a city where they can live in peace and kind of live alongside humans. This season, the kind of like, I guess the world church got involved and like, nah, demons are evil, monsters are evil, so we're gonna kill them all. So they invade his city, kill off a lot of like his best friends.
Oh dear.
And in order to revive them, he basically consumes like I think it's like 10,000 human souls to become a demon lord to get the power to resurrect them, and that makes him a demon lord.
Mm.
But so how would you define that? Because he didn't want to become a demon lord. He had his basically he had his like mission for peace kind of thing, and they were just like, no, we're gonna come in, we're gonna kill your friends. So if you want to bring him back, you're gonna have to become a demon lord. So how would you classify that?
What Doom, I'll give you. That's a good example. I don't have one for that one. I think that's a character that falls completely out of the stereotype of those two. So I'll give you that one.
Yeah, at one point.
I was also thinking while he was talking, Soup, have you ever seen Demon King Damio?
I've not.
All right. It's also a harem, so you have to put it in a little bit of perspective.
Oh, yeah.
But the character there has a little nuance to him where he
That's
eventually wants to. He doesn't realize he's the Demon King, but once he does realize it, his like entire goal is to like take down God. But he wants to take down God for God's failures to like protect people, which like is a really weird ass thing to say, but it kind of makes sense when I guess that could be a motivation. Like I wasn't upset with another one, which I want everyone's opinion on is, and I didn't pick them either, but is good Lord, Blue Exorcist, the two guys from Blue Exorcist whose names are escaping me right now. Who are the spawn of the devil? Yeah,
spiky hair boy and glasses boy.
Yep, the spawn. They are the spawns of the actual freaking devil.
I wish I gave you a good opinion on. I honestly do not remember enough about him to say anything.
I think one just a spiky hair protagonist with blue fire powers, if I remember right. It's been a while since I watched that show.
Sounds pretty accurate.
I would say so. Their last season was very disappointing, so I think that's kind of where they're falling. But I thought they had a little more sauce to them in the beginning. But that just goes to show you what terrible writing can do. But let's get back on trial here with our demon lords or our part demon characters. Which why don't you say demon lords and characters who are part demon are separate? They are different things. So Soup, what was your pick?
All right. I know you're gonna hate me for it. I'm gonna go a little outside. I'm not heating like the rest of you, so I refuse to have a favorite.
Go back. Demon. You had an audio issue there.
Go back. Am I clear now?
You are good.
I refuse to have a favorite demon, so I'm not heating like the rest of you. So I have to go with my boy, the demon that hit and missed himself, Zabuza Mochi from Naruto. No, just saying he's not demon, but tell that to those 30 people you murdered with swords is bad. I know you're upset. But hear me out. I don't care. I'm just saying. At the time, it was the most intimidating shit I've ever seen. I think people can attest. A lot of people say that's what really got them in Naruto. That and the Rock Lee versus Gar fight. So I think that he is a great idealization of what a demon should be in that show. He was intimidating. He was the same to the end. He was, at least to his enemies, evil, not to Haku, of course, and Naruto. But I think he's a great representation of that. But once again, I'm sorry. I just cannot pick a demon.
He's a nerd, bro.
He is a hell of a nerd. Zabuza? I mean, you know how many characters like are nicknamed demons and not demons, and you pick Zabuza?
Damn, listen, what character have you seen appear with a demon behind them and have no explanation to show at all? They never explained it.
The show I watched, it's called What Happens If You Start in a Final Dungeon and Move Up to a Starter Dungeon or some shit. I don't know. Whenever they showed him, a large ass demon dragon was behind him. They never explained it. It just happened to be there.
Yeah, that's also a terrible show.
Oh shit! You just pissed off a fan.
Oh my gosh!
But the six,
I'm gonna let that go. All right, what about you, Beyond? What was your choice?
Yeah. So I reached my hand in and just pulled out the most generic motherfucker there is, Naruto, and
I'm so
Kimura.
in this group right now.
Why you so disappointed, man? Look, I didn't realize about the 100 Demon Parade until later after it popped in my head because I actually like the anime. But
that's his name.
I'm picking Naruto because he's just an iconic person. Everybody knows about him and his little devil living inside him. Through power of friendship and kind words and acts, he allows this demon to become his friend and
it's like
shed
a
away
sitcom.
the the hatred of humans. He just has some iconic moments throughout Naruto where he goes into his little demon rage thing, and Kimura's just trying to get out of him and take over his body here and there. And I think the evolving relationship between them is cool to watch until he does like uh, Doombot said earlier, a fist bump, and now we're cool, which I didn't like. But it's there. A lot of fans love this demon combo character thing going on, so I had to go with Naruto.
Hey, can you be Goku?
We have got to stop.
Please.
Stop.
Y'all can discuss that in the comments, but please be nice.
I truly do not care.
But
All
yes,
right.
he could be Goku. I mean,
About to get muted. Now, moving on, I'm just going to hurry up and say it. Mine is Lord Death from Soul Eater. Hilarious. I think he's one of the first actual Demon Lord characters I thought was legit funny. And technically, I'm cheating because he's a Grim Reaper, but I don't really give a fuck.
he's the man of death. The fuck?
Gave me all that shit. Look at you.
Who did you? One second. Who did you pick again? Super for thought. Who did you pick again? Remind us.
The demon of the hidden mist. Who you picked? The Grim Reaper. Okay, thank you.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. You picked a guy with a sword who died in the first arc? Okay, great. So moving on.
You was great on.
I was about to say, oh, fodder ninja ass. He's nothing but plot. He's nothing but plot development for the main character. I'm so sorry. Oh, I would just say this before we move on. Zabuza should have been saved for a little bit later because he truly was actually terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
He was a great character, but boy, he looked really, really irrelevant in about 30 episodes.
Didn't. I was like, damn. Imagine how when they brought him back through that endless amount of filler and Shippuden, I was like, you don't even fucking matter. I remember thinking that. I was like, who is this motherfucker?
He's about to kill random ninja number 6 and 12.
And probably get jumped. This bitch ass. I mean, with this respectful behind. I apologize. But moving on, ladies and gents, as you just know, this past week we saw E3. E3 went by. As you know, that is the gaming bonanza of the year. All the big gaming companies come out, except for PlayStation for some reason, and they present their games on the newest consoles. Obviously, Xbox and Nintendo for sure. Nintendo had a very big day. People were very hyped for that. And then, we get to see some brand new games coming out, and the hype usually grows. Like last year, for example, I remember when Keanu Reeves was revealed to be on Cyberpunk. Obviously, that did not end well. However, it does not stop us from raising our expectations and getting excited again. Because you know what? Like any abusive relationship, we just keep coming back for more because we expect them to change. But moving on. So, what's going to crush our hearts this year? Doombot. What about you? Tell me.
Okay, Senpai. I'm going to talk about a game that literally I haven't heard anybody really talk about, which is Sifu. Every time they unveil some new gameplay or trailer for Sifu, I get re-excited for it. Basically, it's this fighting game with a really generic plot of, I guess, some gang came into this guy's house, killed his family. A killer cannon. I think they killed his family, and he wants revenge. He's like a martial artist, so you basically go through each level. There's like enemies, kind of like a Dark Souls game, but it looks a little more like comic kind of type graphics. And you go through. I don't think there's any set difficulty. They kind of just get difficult as you go through the different floors. Enemies, boss repeats as you go down to the final boss. But if you die, your character ages before it comes back for you to try again. So it's like you go on a young man. Your character is basically as weak as it can get. I think you're kind of supposed to lose a little bit. You lose. I mean, I'm sure people come and kind of solo it on the first try, but you lose. You come back like 10 years older. Your character's a little bit stronger and repeats. And every time your character comes back, it gets stronger and stronger. He also gets older and older. So I think that's a really cool kind of spin on the game. Instead of like Dark Souls game where you just die, your character yells and comes back and just goes at it again. You kind of have consequences here. Yeah, you get stronger, but your character also ages. So I'm sure you get a set amount of tries for your character just kind of like dies off, unable to get his revenge. I think that's a really cool twist. They showed it's a lot of hand-to-hand. Your character interacts with the environment when he's fighting, so kind of like punch a dude in the throat, slam another dude's head off a table, and like stab the other dude with a glass. I think it's kind of cool when fighting games kind of take the extra edge and use the environment too. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty excited for Sifu. Shout out to Battlefield 2042 also. That also looked pretty hype for me. Huge shooter fan here. Never played Battlefield before. That game looks absolutely epic. So Those are my two technically.
Okay, I'm very interested about that first one you said. 'Cause I guess my thought process is, how many tries do you get before you go all the way back to zero and have to restart, or do you get like a checkpoint type of thing? Because I can see how
I
for
ain't gonna
some
lie.
gamers,
He
it's
looked
like,
like a grandmaster on some of them in the trailer.
damn.
At some point, you're gonna get too old. You get your head uppercutted off on the first fight. I really hope they reset you at that point.
If it's a kung fu movie, the older you get, the more powerful you become. We've seen this many
Very
times.
true.
You're
Very true.
translate to
Roshi
real
out
world.
here.
I guess my question would be for that is, what would be the cutoffs in resetting you, and would that relate to like user frustration? Because let's just say they have like a super unbeatable like challenge, and then you keep going back and back, and then it's not like you know how, for example, in a lot of games where you die at a checkpoint and you just respawn at that checkpoint and try again. Well, what if you keep coming back, and let's just say you've used up your amount of like years? Do they set you back to a previous checkpoint and start again from zero?
I don't think they've unveiled too much. They kind of just laid the basic plot, but I'm guessing you probably just, if you can't clear the floor, you get jacked back to like the beginning. There probably is some kind of checkpoint mode where you can go back to like the floor you died at instead of just going back from floor one. I'm sure they implement different modes for different levels for people. Some people like the extra challenge or whatnot. But I just want to know how many tries you get. I mean, I've seen the guy looks like he's like 20 and then jump to like when he's like 80. So maybe it's every 10 years, every 5. I don't know. But I mean, I'm not going to back down from a challenge like that. Sounds pretty fun.
I can't be mad at that.
They look crisp and clean, the graphics.
That's all that matters. Well, the standard now for gaming is so high. I mean, you got to come correct just because it's such a competitive market. Moving on right now. Let's go to you, Beyond, and tell me what from this past week really piqued your interest.
Redfall really piqued my interest from the E3 event so far. I'm just really upset that it's going to be a Microsoft or AKA Xbox exclusive because it looks like a really fun game, but I am not buying no Xbox X at all for that game. So, but I just liked how it kind of reminded me of another game I used to play with Soup and Doombot here. But it's really you get to play single player or co-op with a group of like 4 people, and you get to pick different powers from a different character, and just being able to actually have like a kind of like a real vampire version of like a zombie game. So you get to go across and destroy all these monsters and try to survive. So I thought that was a really cool game to see, especially since the trailer looked very hype, and I'm really excited to see the one character I saw who had the sniper rifle, and I guess he goes invisible or turns like into a phantom mode. So I really want to dive into what that character is like in the game.
Fantastic. No, dude, I appreciate that. I guess I'm gonna move on now to Soup for Thought. We're moving along here really good. All these games sound great. Soup, what about you? What got you hyped this past week?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot that got me too excited. Like what Beyond was saying, I own a PlayStation 4, so Sony doesn't come to these events. I found out like day 2 of the event they don't come to these E3 anymore, so it's not like I was specifically excited about. But 2 things that really piqued my interest, which one was Redfall, which Beyond has spoken about. It's made by the same people made Dishonored. So that really, even though we didn't see any gameplay, knowing that
which is owned by
Microsoft. So so even though I didn't see the actual gameplay of it, knowing that the same people work on Dishonored, the same people doing this one, kind of gave me high hopes for it. I'm never going to play it, but it's definitely something I could see. I can see myself watching other people play online just to get some gameplay videos of it. It looks super fun. There was like 3 vampire. I don't know if you guys know. There was like 3 vampire games coming out this year. Remember, like in 2012, it was like a vampire movie coming out every damn 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like, Twilight Saga, man. That was Twilight Mania.
Yeah,
like
Twilight, Dracula.
You can do a lot with vampires. You can
but I don't know. I feel like they overuse it so much.
I feel like they're like zombies. I'm tired of seeing it. That's like a cop out for every game. It's just throw some zombies in it now.
They are, but I do feel like at least sounds crazy, but vampires are a little bit more of a fresh air moment than zombies. We've been getting zombies for the longest.
I think zombies are the current vampires.
Yeah. It just keeps going back in the loop. So I'm excited for it. The powers look awesome, looks super fun. It's 4-player co-op because I know we try to gravitate towards games we can all just hop online and play. So that'd be really cool. But one I can actually personally be excited about is Borderlands. I know they have to spin off with
Tiny
Tiny
Tina.
Tina. Yeah, thank you. The
Yeah.
Tiny Tina character. She was super interesting, super fun in the old games. I know somewhat about them. I've never actually played them. I think this would be a good spot for me to jump in. It looks super wacky. It's once again also a lot of co-op based in it too. A lot of comedy actors in it, so it should be pretty funny. I'm very excited about that one. But same thing with Redfall. There's no gameplay yet. I've been burned too many times to not hold my opinion until I see some gameplay. Because boy, I have been just betrayed before. I'm sure you guys have too.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Before we go, I want to like pose a question for everybody.
Go ahead.
I feel like two of us went and kind of was too late. I want to ask. So listen, if anybody saw the Outer Worlds 2 trailer, the trailer literally poked fun at the gaming industry as a whole and really did nothing but kind of unveil Outer Worlds 2 at all. If you haven't watched it, go watch it super quick. It's like a narrator narrating everything that happens in these E3 trailers that we just saw a lot. Like I know Soup just said how we never see any gameplay for some of these, and it's a really hype trailer. It's all CGI, and not a thing of it may make it to the game, but we're hyped for it. And that's all the Outer Worlds kind of makes fun. It's like the narrator cuts in, he's like, you see a character walking in the mist as your main character. You don't know. They haven't even finished the design yet. It's just a lot of like stuff like that. So are you guys kind of like done with the CGI trailers? Do you only care about gameplay trailers? Do you care about CGI trailers at all?
I like this. I like the CGI trailers to get you in, but then like you have to follow back with some gameplay because I need to know like you are following through on a promise that you are showing and hyping us up through the CGI trailers.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly there. I mean, why? I mean, sure, I can't disagree with you. That's your opinion, which I can see. But I'm the exact opposite of you,
Yeah.
because I feel like that's the go-to now. All right, we'll just cop out on a CGI trailer to get everybody hype. As soon as you get everybody hype, you've done like 95% of the work because you realize people are going to buy it anyway. So you can low-key just phone your shit in. Like that's what literally what they. I don't want to say they did that with Cyberpunk, but kind of what they did. That's what gaming that I game a lot to. That's what they do every year with 2K and Madden. Where
I
they
mean,
have
like,
some. They have some.
2K, they buy it themselves automatically because it's 2K.
Say it again.
2K don't even have to really sell themselves. They just say, yeah, we got a new game coming out. Everybody's going to buy it.
Sort of, kind of. They do, just because there are other companies now that are starting to make games, starting to make basketball games again. So they're trying to like fight for that market, because NBA Live is going to come back eventually. Granted, NBA Live is down catastrophic right now, but that's another story for a different day. And they just put up the fucking game engine footage or something like that, and it looks gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, it looks gorgeous, but it's not the game at all. And it's kind of, it's like you fool me once, all right, you got me. You fool me twice, you got me. You can't get fooled a third time. That's kind of how I feel about it, where it's like, as gamers, how many times can we get, screwed over by, man, the trailer, that Anthem trailer, mwah, and then the game comes out and you're like, oh, this is just a buggy mess.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning more towards you on that, DJC. I think the CGI trailers are good for excitement, but half my issue is they'll release a trailer. You'll see this really cool, beautiful CGI trailer. You'll go through it, sort of like what Outer Worlds was saying with Doombot, and then you'll get to the end of it and you're like, wait, what's this game about? It's coming out when? And it's like you get kind of run to like that issue, which I really hate. So at this point, this is how I feel. Maybe I'm just being cynical. I don't want to hear about the game unless it's coming out next year or this year. I don't want you to present it unless you got some gameplay. And if you're putting out a trailer for it, you know what I want? Know what games consistently work good for me? Like games where it's CGI and transitions smoothly right to the gameplay. That has always been a beautiful turnout. Spider-Man PS4 did it. God of War did it. Any game where you transition from CGI to gameplay and the trailer, that lets me know that not only is your game beautiful, you actually put some effort into this shit. So that's really where I hold the standard to. So I get excited about CGI trailers. Like last year, I was excited about Suicide Squad: Kills the Justice League. It was a great trailer, great song. Everything looked super fun. But I ran into once again the issue. I said, oh, "This is awesome. This is cool. Wait, what's this game about?" And like I hate running into that. So I do like them visually, but practically, I want a gameplay trailer and I want a release date within a year, if not that year.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, I'm going to pose another question to us. Do we think Outer Box is going to be good? Because a piece of me is thinking to myself, did you just do that because you don't have something?
They really made a joke about it and then still did the same exact thing.
You think about it.
Well, I think that's okay because they acknowledge the game's not coming out for probably another year or two. Outer Worlds 1 was pretty well received. Wasn't the best game. Definitely wasn't the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's okay. It's a very non-serious game, so it fits. It's not like Call of Duty came out and did it, try to make a serious game, but we had a kind of jokey trailer. So I think it's okay they did that. I'm sure they'll come back and make some joke in game about how, remember that trailer we showed? That's the monster right there. We were talking about you don't know whether it'll show up in the game or not. So I mean, I think that game will be pretty good. I think something I really, really can't stand though, if you ever seen like a trailer that's like part CG, part gameplay, it's like it's a guided walkthrough of the game. Kind of like if you ever saw the first Anthem trailer, it looks amazing. Everything's like 4K. Everything looks beautiful. You're like, oh my God, look, you got some cool gear from that. The characters look awesome. And you're like, when you see some gameplay, some actual gameplay, it looks nothing like the other gameplay they showed you. Because it's like really doctored up. That's something I really can't stand is like hybrid kind of style that companies use now. Just honestly, I can't do that. It annoys the hell out of me.
That's the exact opposite of the things I really love. That's kind of the issue I run into with that one too, is because they'll show this amazing, beautiful, like you're like been on like one of those rides where like it will take you somewhere, like on a track essentially, like the guided missions like Anthem had. That's the part that really irks me for like my specific CGI gameplay mix I like. That's the part that kills me because I know. I think Spyro PS4, which ended up being still a great game, it looked a lot different than that trailer they showed us at the at E3. It looked a lot different. Did not look as nice. So ended up, I think it was Game of the Year. So ended up being a great game, but they pull that bullshit a lot too.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I guess it just goes up. I feel like as the gaming industry, if you ask me, is a little slimy. Not even a little slimy. It's very slimy. And so a lot of it is now, like I said earlier, if you got a hype trailer, you're guaranteed to at least make your money back on the game. At least. And if you have a great marketing campaign, you're going to make a fuck ton of money no matter what. Now, so basically, it's almost better for you to get some great-ass animators that can just animate a beautiful CGI trailer, get a dude with a deep-ass voice to say something, and then you're golden. Because, I mean, like, I get little trailers for Rainbow all the time now. I can't even get on YouTube and watch a video without that new Rainbow trailer playing. And my first thought process is, I hear y'all play Rainbow, and y'all hate that shit. So I'm wondering,
like, I don't hate it. It's a love-hate relationship.
It's a love-hate relationship. Still.
He's the only one who doesn't hate it.
True, fair enough. But let me answer mine. For me, I'm going to go with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I am not the level of gamer as you guys are, but it looked fucking gorgeous. That was the main reason. For me, games, I've moved to the phase of, unless you're something I've already played pre-establishing, you have to really impress me to buy it because I'm a cheap fuck. So I need a reason to shell out that cash. Two other games that did not air at E3, but I'm very excited for. One is ESBC Boxing. I know I've talked to you, Soup, about that because that looks stunning.
They did show some more gameplay though. They did show that.
They've showed a lot of gameplay, and you know what? It looks gorgeous, and I'm excited for it for that reason, just because it looks. They didn't show. You know how some companies give you like within the trailer like a 5-10 second little clip of gameplay. And like really, of course, like the perfect like animation they're gonna have in the game. That'll probably be that you'll get maybe like 4 or 5 times throughout your entire playing. Now ESBC showed pretty much an entire match of gameplay, and I was like, you know what? That's what I want right there.
That's confidence.
Very confident. They've taken their time on that, and I'm very excited. Another one is Madden 22 released their cover, and I'm not excited for the game, but I just have to say that cover was hard as hell.
With Brady Mahomes?
With Brady Mahomes. That was hard. That was a hard-ass cover. That's literally the only positive thing I want to say about that. And moving on.
Everybody get injured now.
110%. They're both tearing their ACLs. Very scary thought. Moving on to more scary things. Let's jump to the horror genre. My least favorite genre because I am a bit of a bitch.
What?
Let's talk about horror icons here. We're going to talk specifically. What horror icon are you the most afraid of?
Another one, bro. Bring them on, bitches.
Now, Most of you guys know Beyond Meaning did pee on himself 4 times in 6th grade. I was there. All because
It
Kelly
wasn't P.
Jansen.
It was a number 2.
Oh my God.
You think I'm kidding? No, I'm just kidding.
Please don't do that to yourself. Beyond, tell me, what horror
I know
icon
why.
are you afraid of and why?
So it would have to be Jigsaw.
The puppet?
Dude, that shit's horrifying. Them
Bruh,
songs are
just
rough.
seeing it, bruh. Like you could think about Chucky being scary, but like just that little puppet just rolling around on a little tricycle, just bruh. But it's not the fact of like what he is. It's the fact of what he does. He plays a game with you, which fucks with your mind. He basically ends up having you play a game that you know you don't want to play, but you gotta try to get through it, and all he's doing is testing your will to live. And it's just the sheer grittiness of the fact that like, yeah, I'm chained, I need to get out of here, so I guess I gotta cut my leg off. And it's like he's breaking you down mentally. And I think he'll also it's just I couldn't go through that because I'm just like, I don't want to reverse bear trap on my head at all, knowing the timer is just ticking down and I have to get that thing off of me. And it's like the worst level of fear factor put to the max because your life is on the line for real this time. And somebody else probably wants to live longer than you, so they're going to end up killing you just because. And he's not doing nothing. He's just throwing you in the game. And so, I feel like some of the other the classic killers like Michael, Jason, and Freddy, I kind of watched the movies when I was a kid and stuff, and I wasn't scared of them because of the I guess you could say like the graphics back then were trash. So I think the only recent one now is the new version of It because that shit was actually crisp and clean. And I was like, cool, but I wasn't as scared like I would be put into the scenario of put into the scenario of Jigsaw.
You know the worst thing about Jigsaw is
that he was dead for most of it.
Also that this crazy motherfucker, but the fact that he is completely up to his opinion on why you're a bad person. Like imagine like you wake up in like some kind of cellar and the Jigsaw roll in, that tape start playing like on 2 days ago, you ate half a Subway sandwich and threw it with the pickles. People starving in Africa. There's a bomb strapped to your head. Inside your stomach is a pickle with a key in it. You decide what to do. Like, nigga.
The turtle died because of your sins. Dude, I got it. Jigsaw isn't my choice, but I'll say this right now. I'm piss afraid of almost all of them. But there's something about being chained up and trapped that just fucks with me so much because I don't like. I'm not claustrophobic, but I'm claustrophobic. And some of them deaths, bro, I just can't, dude. Like, that's just, I'm terrified of dying. But I'm terrified of dying in some super graphic, horrifying way. And that is 110% what a Jigsaw death is.
Mm-hmm. Bruh, dirty needles.
That's my most fear trap right there, is that dirty needle pit.
You didn't have to ask. You already knew that was mine, too.
Because the scene where they push that poor girl into that pit, I cringe every time I think about it. I can't.
It's so fucking bad.
Well, they're coming out with a new one too, so
yeah,
I won't watch it. I refuse to watch those.
Those are bad.
Yeah, those are bad.
I don't know.
You might have won on that one.
Be.
Dude, you might have won. All I gotta say is I know this isn't. I didn't pick this, and I know it's not. But those Final Destination movies are truly. I just don't get on big roller coasters to this day because of Final Destination 3.
They ruined a lot of shit.
I'm dead serious. I will never get into a sand bed because of it. The first time I ever bench pressed, I was petrified because of that damn movie. I do not fuck with that shit. But my choice ended up being Freddy. I know that's a classic one, but
good choice.
I'm with you.
That one.
I get such horrible nightmares, and there's something because my thought process is this: I'm the type of person when I think of something, it's very hard for me to stop thinking about it. And so I would never not think about it. I don't understand how anyone's like, I forgot what movie it was, where girls like, man, what was that monster that used to haunt us in our dreams? Who was it? It was oh, it was Freddy. Like, no, bitch, I would remember 24/7. Plus, I'm black, so I'm definitely not within the first 15 minutes. So it's just not.
DJC ass.
Bro, I
Immediately.
can't. There's something about getting tortured in my dreams. I know how twisted my mind is. That it would probably be like Jigsaw, but if Jigsaw just talked endless shit to me as he killed me, which I can't do, because I can't even do nothing back. So it's
You
just
ain't going to sleep. Mm-mm.
no. It's like imagine being in the ring with like Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali's just talking mad shit like I'm the greatest, but it's just him like I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker, and he's just fucking you up. And you're like, it's literally your dream. So you like you.
I'm so pretty. You not.
I'm just so pretty. Like, you know, you're just trying to beat his ass, but he's whooping his ass. He's whooping your ass in your own dream.
Throwing
It's
slow
too
ass
much.
dream punches.
That's also terrible too. I don't know. That's like my personal space. It's like he's taking so much from me, not just my sense of security.
It's your dream. You control that world, not him.
Nah, fuck that. I'd be too afraid. Because I don't know about y'all, but if I'm dreaming, I obviously don't realize I'm in a dream. So I'm just like, this is the real world. I'm a real ass human. And no,
My dreams, I could tell I'm dreaming because they start getting crazy. I'm like, yeah, this is a dream. Wake
that
up.
must
man.
be.
I'm always aware
Ah,
of dreaming, but I can only like change what's happening. I can always wake myself up if I choose to, but I can only change what's happening sometimes.
I can't do. I'd be trapped. I just got to go through it. Like I don't got that. I gotta
strapped in for the ride.
Dude, I gotta have like a training arc or some shit because I'm screwed. Man, fuck. Let's get off this. I'm gonna have a hell of a nightmare tonight because of this. Let's move on. Doombot, take it away.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit out of normal here, and I'm gonna go with the Xenomorph from the Alien franchise.
The Xenomorph.
Kid me was not messing around with a Xenomorph. All right.
I'm not.
Now listen,
upset.
everybody's
They are
like, "Oh
horrifying.
my god, giant lizard." No, listen. All right. When you're a little kid and you absolutely see a little worm pop out of dude's chest and kill him, that scared the almighty shit out of me. I was like, listen, man, nah. And that shit wasn't even peaceful. It was literally him gyrating for like a full
Violence.
minute, spitting out blood, and all of a sudden a alien pops out of his chest and wiggles away to the darkness, and an hour later it's a full grown ass monster. Nah. So all right, so let's just say a Xenomorph just doesn't pop out my chest. I got square with one straight on. Besides it being a straight ass demon with a spear tail and claws and clawing on walls and shit and a weird mouth inside its mouth, I think I could take it in a fight, maybe with a gun. No, you can't shoot it with a gun. It has acid blood. If you shoot it, it's gonna squirt in your face and melt the fuck out of you. So now I can't beat it. I can't shoot it. So what the fuck am I supposed to do with it? I don't think they kill people. I think they like put them little face huggers on you and they like shoot shit down your throat. It's too much.
That
They
shit's
like
horrifying.
they zoom into the
Worst
movie
part.
and show their like throats moving. Like, nah, I can't. It's
That's
too
the
much.
worst part.
You wake up, you're like, oh, I'm good. Nope. 30 minutes later, you're gyrating and a little alien popping out your chest. See, this is a weird ass cycle that you're going in. That's why Xenomorphs are a huge ass nope. At least I can, like, go ahead.
How do you feel about the new movies with Michael Fassbender?
I'd be more afraid of like two Michael Fassbenders doing some weird shit to me, but I guess the Xenomorphs are still kind of scary. I'm more allowed to watch. I'm sorry. There's a scene where they kiss each other. I'm like, what's happening here? Is this about aliens, right?
I think I went to the movies with you, and I think we both said "ill" at the same time.
Yeah, we're like, what is this? Why? Whose idea was this?
Perfection.
But I just can't. The classic Xenomorph, it will always be a number one. There's a lot of like honorable mentions. Like, I don't want to be in Jigsaw Trap. Michael Myers just popping out of any dark corner would scare the shit out of me. But I can't with Xenomorph, man. There's usually more than one. I can't. So
And they wet.
they are
They're slimy.
they are slimy. They have that weird ass slime all over them.
They're busting on you as they kill you. Let that sink in.
Face huggers really are.
Mm-hmm. You swallow it.
All it takes is one. It's just gonna start multiplying. Now you got a whole city full of them, like rats.
You
Like
not
a bunch of
seen,
the babies.
Oh my god, that'd be
Let's
horrifying.
go.
I pull up.
Do you consider? I'm going to ask all you guys because I don't really consider the Alien franchise to be a horror.
The
I
way
do.
he described it, I do now.
Aliens 1 is definitely a horror, science fiction horror.
I kind of think of it more of a, and it's a stupid, another blurred line thing. I would think of it more of as like a thriller.
Nah,
I can
think of
see
it as
why you
horror.
said it.
I would say it's kind of a slow burn horror.
Hmm.
Just for one, after a while, Xenomorphs become kind of like stormtroopers. There's just a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
But in the first one, they kind of focus on the one slowly going around the ship. You don't know where it's at. A lot of scenes where it slowly pops up. You see it stalking the guy from afar. I think the first one is kind of like a classic horror movie.
Definitely.
After that, it starts deviating all over the place. But money, the first one is definitely a horror movie, I'd say.
Definitely delved like towards the end, like Alien vs. Predator started going more action too.
Yeah,
I think I haven't seen one. I didn't see any of the those weird ass ones they released. But would you consider those horror? 'Cause I saw like half an hour one. I was super confused. Just turned it off.
I don't know what the hell that is. DJC, you sat there with me, man. If you want to chime in here, was it romance? Maybe like an alien romance?
Like they just do too much sometimes. That's why they gotta stop when a conversation we need to have another day of franchises that just need to stop because they keep trying to go to like suck money. Fast Furious for sure. They just try to suck as much money out of it, and then the plots get so convoluted where it's like I don't fucking know what's happening. It's definitely not a horror film. That's why I asked because like the latest ones are just I don't think they're barely even thrillers anymore. They're just straight up science fiction.
Science fiction with a tad bit of action for about 10 minutes.
And a couple deaths that really aren't that gruesome anymore because nothing that I know the scene you're talking about, the original one, that shit is horrifying to today. Because they didn't use CGI, that's just real ass like action. That shit
real ass worm popping out man chest.
The way he shook was horrifying. But Soup, you're the last one here. Finish us off. What makes you pee yourself?
So originally I was gonna be on your side, DJC. I was gonna go Freddy Krueger. As a kid, nothing traumatized, and when I say traumatized, I don't mean it lightly. Nothing traumatized me like Freddy fucking Krueger. There was literally my mom had to come to the school and speak to my teacher because she was concerned. There's a scene in one of the old Freddy Krueger movies where he's walking down a hallway, stretches his arms and scratches the hallway as he's walking down.
Is it in the boiler room?
Yep, I drew that scene in my notebook the next day at school, and the teacher had to call my mom to make sure and ask her why I was watching these movies.
It's a bitch.
And she
it really fucked me up. I was traumatized by it. And same thing with you, DJC. I'm gonna think about him all the time, every single second. He's gonna be on my ass like white on rice, and I'm gonna be dead immediately. I'm going right after you. That was my original choice, but I started thinking about it. I was a kid. Of course I'd be scared. There's only one thing that has scared me as an adult, and that is that fucking nun from Conjuring 2. That fucking nun. I don't know what it is about her. That scene where she fallen for her dumbass, fall into that dark room, and there's a painting of her up. And you like see a shadow go across the room until it gets to the painting, and it slowly becomes her. Boy, that shit creeped me the hell out. I went with my fiance at the time to go see it, and she was holding on to me. So she would jump, and her jump would make me jump. And after a while, I came to realize I'm actually scared as a human adult. I'm in this movie theater scared. I had to go home and watch Chowder just to get that shit off my brain. As an adult, nothing scared me worse than Nun, man. It was the makeup, the tenseness. What I think Conjuring 2 does well is a lot of horror movies now. I know DJC not a huge horror movie fan. I'm a huge horror movie fan. A lot of horror movies now, all they do, they're going for the jump scare. They want the shock reaction. That's all they want. Conjuring 2 did a great job at building suspense and tension. There's like scenes where you're focusing on someone else in the background, the girl slowly turning into that demon, and then back. There's scenes where you're looking where stuff is going on. The camera has it focused, so you're looking through the eyes of the nun and not focus on the characters. Like little stuff like that really builds suspension and tension. And boy, they got me, man. That scared me. An adult male, that scared me. That nun, man.
Okay. I agree with you. You were talking about nuns, but I want to talk about orphans real quick. Honorable mention to the fucking orphan. Because that wasn't super scary to everybody, but for some reason, for me, she didn't scare me. She just creeped me the fuck out because that was weird.
The 13-year-old, 30-year-old?
Yes.
Why did that scare you?
It was just her mannerisms. I get weirded out by like children in those movies always freak me out. Whenever the children
Also
are like demonic, they're like, Jennifer, what's wrong? You're like, oh my God. Father, don't you understand what's happening here? Shit like that gets me. It's just weird. And I do not know. My mom used to do this prank on me because there was some horror movie that came out and the girl was like, Mommy, you smell different. And I don't know what movie it was. I refused to watch it. But my mother, for over a decade now, will say that to me, and every time my fucking spine just curdles into itself. It terrifies the living shit out of me.
Kids in horror movies are a terrible thing, man. The second I find I'm in a horror movie, I'm getting every kid and every doll away from me immediately.
Straight up, I might off myself.
That's an honest option.
I would much rather just kill myself than have to deal with the horror movie life where I'm, like, imagine trying to run from Jason, but we know it's Jason, so we know we could never truly run away from Jason.
Yep.
Or Michael.
Just about to say.
I'll let Michael and Jason stab me if I find out Freddy real and he's coming after me. I'm ending it right there. I'm being plain honest with you. I'm not staying up until you get to that weird state where you're kind of asleep, kind of awake. I'm not waiting for that to happen. I'm ending it right there.
Well, everybody's talking how scary Freddy was, but anybody ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street 2? The one with the very sexual torture scenes that
we don't talk about that.
Okay. Well, I picture Freddy Krueger. I picture him tying me up in a locker room because that's what happened in the movie, and it's not as scary as you would think. If you have free time, go watch Nightmare on Elm Street 2. It'll change your view of Freddy. It's a little bit different.
You've been a naughty boy, bitch.
Oh my god, what if you're into it? He's not gonna know what to do. You're making it weird. Like Freddy's worse to me because like alien, like xenomorphs. If you're not in a spaceship, you're fine. Jigsaw, as long as you're not an asshole, you'll be okay. The Nun, get the hell out of that house, you dumbass. But Freddy, like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. He doesn't care if you're a good person, doesn't care if you're a bad person. If you know his name, he's on your ass. I thought that's what makes Freddy so bad.
I remember, what was I about to say? It was in Freddy versus Jason. And Kelly Rowland was, I think, talking shit to Freddy.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And did she say, like, Jason has, like, a bigger dick or something than him?
Yep.
I remember that. And then she got chopped in half. And I don't know why, but that is the only genuine-ass laugh I've ever had in a horror movie where I was like, this is absurd. She was like, you're just mad because Jason's got a bigger... I'm like, why would she say that in this moment? How did that benefit her? And then watching her get yeeted halfway across the fucking campground like a fucking cicada getting punted. Oh, my Lord.
Speaking of crossovers, man, that's top tier for me. That movie was not a great movie, but super entertaining.
It was just funny. Freddy terrifies me, but I have to admit, his bitch is just something about it.
It's so funny now. As a kid, hell no, but as an adult, it's so funny now.
Unless I'm on the awkward end of it, because Lord, you're about to die, fat bitch. No, please, Freddy. Oh, but ladies and gents,
Rocket blasting off again. So how would they compare?
What did you just say?
They're going against the Avengers.
I mean,
all our picks. So you got.
They're
Freddy.
all getting waxed.
All right.
Not a single one I think has a chance. I mean,
you can't really kill Jason.
You know what? Xenomorph's taking out Black Widow. I don't care what you say.
All right, yeah, she's
your damn mouth.
So now there's two of them.
You know what?
Right, Iron Man too.
I disagree because Black Widow was fighting up against those weird ass like demon things that fucking Thanos put down in the first in Infinity War.
I want to say that's just gonna sneak up on her at night when she's in bed. So when loom over like Spider-Man and get ready for a kiss, right? It's gonna be jewel in her mouth and shit. It's gonna be gross. And she's gonna shoot it.
This Hulk.
She's gonna shoot it. It's gonna splash in her face, and she's gonna die. All right. It's gonna.
You think about it, Freddy could technically take them all out.
I don't think so. Because that's literally Scarlet Witch right there. Scarlet Witch did that, and that didn't work.
Golden Dreams.
So who standing the biggest chance? Jigsaw. He come with a good plan. You give us a
prep. Jigsaw is a strategist, so he could make a good ass game that just fucks everybody up.
He's not beating it. He's not messing with Iron Man because Iron Man can like summon his armor.
About to say, and like also, I just don't understand how he would like break into some of these places to even get them.
He break into Avengers Tower. He is savage.
Ant-Man did.
Well, Ant-Man don't count.
And every other nigga got an Iron Man suit, so I mean it can't be that hard.
I'm about to say like they can fuck up fucking Falcon, but no one cares. I mean we wouldn't care about that.
Fuck Falcon up.
No one cares.
What you got? Oh, I got that Hammer Industries. Oh, you don't got that Stark.
I'm going for the Nun because not one of them believe in Jesus.
So Thor gonna know what to do. I guess
Thor definitely don't.
Thor gonna be SOL on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Thor gonna be the only one alive.
Well, Thor, that fucking hammer.
Thor gonna be the main one to die.
I think no, Thor's the easiest one because as soon as
Thor
you attack
can't die.
Thor,
You
hammer.
can't. I mean, I don't know,
You
man.
can't kill Thor. Thor's the only one living.
Possess him.
Oh my
Now
god,
you
you
got
possessed Thor.
evil Thor.
Oh my god.
I'll actually watch that shit, bro.
I
Now
don't
you
know.
got
It
evil Thor
depends.
running around, man.
Because can Captain Marvel be? Well, I guess I'm adding. Are we talking original Avengers here, or the extended kind of?
I saw you talking OG. Just make it simple.
OGs, yeah.
Okay, so Hulk, that's the nigga you need to be. Oh, that's the dude you need to be worried about right there. Because Hulk, oh my god, you possess Hulk and just got him rampaging. Who? That's too much.
I don't know. The MC Hulk is a
Xenomorph
bitch
Hulk,
to me. I
man.
got no respect for him.
Yeah, he's not-
OG one before they did the Professor Hulk just made us all sad. Like
Even now, one got whooped on by Iron Man.
If Xenomorph can sneak up on Bruce Banner and get one of them face huggers on him, it's game over. All right, you got Hulk Xenomorph on the way.
Imagine the monstrosity that's gonna be, man.
that would be horrifying. That would be horrifying. I don't know. I feel like a Thor Xenomorph would be even scarier.
That thing can use Mjolnir. It's over. That is it.
I guess it'd have to be if it was somehow worthy, which wouldn't make any sense.
That'd be funny as shit.
I'd be there like, what?
Oh no, it's worthy.
Because I low-key still think it's BS how Cap's worthy, but I get it.
Oh come on, DJC.
What? That's a
Come on.
classic moment.
I get it's a classic moment, but
Who's more worthy than Captain America?
like,
Other than his
Cap-
potentially, possibly, likely racist past.
I was just about to say.
I mean, he grew up in the time, bro. He had to fit in. That's all.
Also, remember, it was Odin in Asgard. They don't, just based off of history, the Vikings
Sure.
didn't seem like the most culturally accepting people. So that may not be an issue for them.
Cap is tall with
They
nice,
actually kind of were.
proper
real
skin.
history.
I don't know. I mean, it's just the thing is, if any of them are awake, not a single one of those horror movie characters has a chance, except for
without question.
unless they're fighting like Black Widow or Hawkeye. Then all right, then it's a toss up.
Man, look, Jigsaw
That's a shame.
go ahead. Jigsaw go in right here. He'd be like, Tony, for you to get to your armor, you got it. Da 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 da. You know,
He
you
can
gotta
just
try
he
to
can
figure-
call his armor to him though.
it's in his body.
He
It is in his
just
body,
activated though. So you
Hmm?
know,
No, all right, Jigsaw ain't that damn smart. All
The
right,
hell you
Jigsaw-
think
he is an engineer, bro. He's
He
an
an engineer, not a super
She
genius.
just boost him. She's giving boost to Reed Richards like level. Good God.
I'm about to say, Tony Stark is the dude that figured out freaking time travel.
Right? I attempted to deactivate your armor. I don't know what I'm doing. You're gonna die either way. I'm sorry.
What to say?
There will be no less involved.
I don't know. I feel like that's an easy one. I don't know. I guess because horror movie characters, when you think about it, really aren't that strong. The
They're
vast
not.
majority of them. It's just that they're just going up against regular humans, and humans are weak as fuck.
Mm.
Can't tell me I'm wrong on that one, can you, boys?
We kind of suck low key. We don't got claws. We ain't that
Rick-
fast. We ain't that strong. We got no teeth.
No.
Shark
Well,
teeth.
really?
Kind of trashy for real.
It's really the Xenomorph and Jason.
Xenomorph's getting blown up immediately.
It's
They're
taking
getting-
out someone with it. It's
It's
taking
not-
out someone with
no,
it.
it's not taking anyone with it,
It's
man.
a suicide bomb
Bro,
waiting to happen.
it
I
just
like
Will
really
Will
Smith
Smith.
is.
spin thing
Half
around
of
his
them
neck
got
and choke
Hawkeye
out.
and Black Widow, it's over.
Black Widow
But,
is gonna walk up, do that little like leg, take her swing around her neck, and like pin him to the ground. She's gonna pop it a cap in it. It's gonna dissolve her. I'm telling
Right
you,
on
it's
her
taking out
cooch.
someone with it.
Shit, she gonna slip right off because it's so slimy.
I don't know. There's literally only two of them. Like, I hate to do it, but Hawkeye and Black Widow are the only ones I can see as Xenomorph just taking out because of the slime. But like Iron Man,
It can take out Bruce Banner.
eh,
Freddie
If
can
it's got
take
a
out.
face hugger.
Freddie
Yeah,
can
it's
take
taking
out
out
Iron
Bruce
Man.
Banner.
I don't know, bro. Hulk done had some shit happen to him and just be like, whatever. Because he's also radioactive, so I have no idea what the fuck how that's gonna just mix with it.
That's,
Great. Now it's
that's
mutated.
Oh,
a bad reaction.
Radioactive. Jason can take out the Hawk. No, I'm just playing. He can't.
I'm
Take
about
out.
to
He's
say,
getting
bro.
a hole punch through his chest.
Mhm.
But he's still
Puny
live,
man.
though,
I
somehow
can just see it now.
because it's Jason.
We're not getting Freddie enough credit. I feel like he can take a couple of them down because even
Yeah,
Scarlet Witch, it worked for a second for Lob. It worked for a second. That may be all he needs. Now Freddie play around too much. He gonna do some bullshit.
Come on, bitch. I can just see it now. Just taking his sweet ass time. Because, like, I don't know. I'm just worried about someone like Captain America who's he's too fucking all American, just being like, no, Freddie, America is always on. I don't know why I just turned him into Bandit Keith. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Move on. Move on. I didn't mean to do that.
Hey man, they could take some of them out, but not all of them. And then in the end, Spider-Man comes and joins them.
Spider-Man would die to
gang
Freddy.
banged by everybody.
His little mentally weak ass would definitely die to Freddy. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
he is an L for him.
Mr. Stark. Which would make you happy, huh, Doom?
More than you know.
Oh, sweet
Best
Jesus.
damn Spider-Man ever to exist.
Tobey Maguire, you damn
I
right.
used to believe it. I'm Team Doombot now. I'm sorry.
Got time here, Mr. Stark, too much.
It got real bad.
He needs to move on. They milked the living shit out of it in that new movie. Every
He's his
5 minutes.
own man. That's what makes Spider-Man cool. He did all this shit on his own. Now he even used Stark stuff to make his suit.
Have they mentioned
Oh,
Uncle
man.
Ben once?
Fuck Uncle Ben.
You don't have to show him dying again, but can you at least mention him, pretend like he exists?
Shit. The only Uncle Ben we care about is the one on rights. Man, we don't give a fuck about that old ass.
Damn
I
right.
mean, I don't even think she old enough to have. They probably gonna bring Uncle Ben in. He gonna be the step uncle.
Y'all
That
really,
is true.
y'all really made sweet Aunt May
Low-key
that?
gilf.
Cougar.
a
She's
gilf.
fucking
Is that what it is?
She's not a gilf. She's definitely still a milf or an
Oh,
elf.
Why they
An
give
elf?
In the Alf.
An aunt I'd like to play. I don't know. I mean, she could
They
get it.
just made her super young.
Why they give her a sweet old May like that?
I don't know. There's only so many times you can. It's like Uncle Ben is the same level as like Batman's parents. I get it. They die and it's very sad. I'm tired of seeing it.
You can't just come replace Batman's parents with like some other superhero.
We can stop referencing it like 30 times.
It's really important to the character.
I do actually like they ended the origin story with Spider-Man. I feel like it's something that most people know by now. I do like they didn't do that. I'll give them that.
Just gotta reference it at least once. Say,
Yeah, just
Uncle
reference.
Ben.
That's
It's
all you
Uncle
gotta
Ben
do.
was like. That's all you need. It's Uncle Ben.
They don't gotta do the flashback. They just do the Uncle Ben used to that.
Well, technically, Tony Stark is his Uncle Ben now.
That's
Damn.
ridiculous.
That's true.
The way he started talking to Aunt
He
May.
was tap dancing on Aunt May.
Oh my god. Get those sweet cookies. I don't know. Maybe if they reverse fucking, I think Batman and even though they're part of two different companies, like maybe Batman just lives with an uncle, a rich ass uncle, and then that'd be nice. And then his uncle dies or some shit. I'd take
They
that
ain't gonna
over.
do it. They ain't gonna do that.
I know, but I'm tired of seeing his parents get shot in the fucking alleyway.
All they gotta do is get rid of the parents being shot and just mention it. Yeah, my parents got shot, like or something, because everybody knows it. All they gotta do is continue using Alfred.
Yeah.
Alfred's such a diverse character. You can go any way, which way you want to add him into the movie universe, however you want.
I see
Last
another
question.
necklace of pearls hitting the floor.
Vance used to be a part of the SAS, so
Mhm.
I want them to use that sooner or later.
Last question here. This is completely random. Would y'all ever watch an Alphen origin movie? Because I don't know why, but I kind of would.
I watched the show. It's actually good.
If they made like a full like movie, just made it part of MC, not MC, obviously DCEU, just an Alfred movie.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
When it becomes free to watch, yeah, I wouldn't go to the movies for that.
Nah, there's no way I would.
It depends on how they do it though.
It's just the Alfred in Vietnam War or whatever the hell he was in. I can't.
Damn, that sound boring.
Like you remember, like I don't know if you might have seen the Teen Titans Go trailer for their movie when it was like Alfred the movie. Like I can't. Like I can't watch Alfred.
I would definitely wait for it, but I'd be intrigued. If it ended up being good as fuck, I'd have to watch. But that's another subject for a different day. But we need to wrap this podcast up. It's been another wonderful episode of the OffRangers podcast. R.I.P. to our two brethren busy out there, probably getting cheeks or whatnot, because you know how we do. 2023, we hope to be out in Comic-Con. If you see us, to all the fans out there, real quick as we leave, Super Thought doesn't believe there's any baddies out there, that cosplay. So we're going to prove them wrong. I want to see all the girls cheeked up like a Tuesday. But more importantly, we have been the OffRangers. I thank you so much, DJC Universe here. Signing off. We'll be back again next week.
We're the OffRangers. I mean, we're the Rangers.
God damn it. Fucking. You had one job.
I'm sorry.
Redo
I
it.
ain't gonna lie. These two podcasts, they fucked me up because I was thinking about it. I was just like, I'm supposed to say something random. And then I was like, hold on, no, I'm not.
You sounded so confident too. We're the Off Rangers. They know that. All right, let's redo this. Let's go. Come on. Off Rangers
Wait,
here.
give me half a second.
What's about to happen?
What?
I'm
play
leaving
damn
all
thing.
this in. I'm leaving all this in. I
No, you're
refuse to
not.
cut any. I am. I'm not cutting any of this.
You
The
better
fans
cut
will
it.
know we go. No, I'm not
All
cutting
right,
any of this.
thing, Batty.
We're Rangers, and we're a little off.
I hate you. All right, man. We'll see y'all next week. Deuces.